Hi, and welcome to AltTabMe.com's usually scheduled Wildstar podcast. We wanted to come to you in a video format just to tell you that there's no new information. We mentioned this in the last podcast that what we were going to do is since we are the community that outlasts release dates and released information on release dates, we will have some other podcasts to fill the gap. We have a podcast coming up that's called Tab Talks. It's a brand new idea. We're going to throw it at you guys probably Monday because the Wildstar podcast is not going to be happening. There is just Wildstar Wednesdays didn't give us enough information, and we are not the kind of people that will sit here without anything to talk about, unpassionately theory crafting the idea of theory crafting. We dislike it. I mean, Damien, he likes to theory craft the idea of theory crafting. Right, Damien?
What?
What?
That's crazy. You're just accusing me of stuff, man. Like, just ruining. But I totally love the theory craft stuff. I can't keep up that charade, man. I love it. I love theory crafting.
Bruce is completely on the Wildstar hype train, so if it's not a Wildstar podcast, he does not want to do it. Which is fine. That's totally cool. He's a great asset to talking about Wildstar. He brings a lot to the table, and we want to use him for that. But we don't want anybody ever on a podcast that is not 100% into what we're going to be talking about. So, with that said,
apparently John and Mike have more important things to do, like families and jobs.
Yeah,
what are those?
There's just three of us today to tell you this because they don't care. They don't love you guys.
Ouch.
I do.
Like we do.
I do.
Like we do.
I love all you guys. Except
I get up
Zach
early
is
for you guys.
right now.
He does. It's 6. What time is it there?
It's right now.
Quarter
it's,
of 8 for him
7:30
in the morning.
7:30 in the morning. He's up doing podcasts for you guys. Okay.
8.
All right. 7:30 in the morning. That's
It's all downhill from me. This is the best time I am right now. I'll be shit for the rest of the day. That's just how it goes.
So instead of us sitting here and talking about our day and that kind of stuff, when we have information for Wildstar, we will absolutely be doing more Wildstar podcasts. But we're going to wait. We're going to wait for that information to come. We don't want to fuel the hype train of hype itself. We want to fuel a hype train that has actual information to back it up. We did it with Guild Wars 2. We did it with SimCity.
You did it with SimCity. I had no part in that one at all.
No, but we're gonna go ahead and say that this week's is canceled, and you should probably check in next week. You can guarantee if there's a good Wildstar Wednesday, we'll talk about that stuff. If they announce something at a convention or something like that, we'll talk about it. If they release some NDA stuff, we'll dig our teeth into it.
Just one thing they did in that Wildstar Wednesday, despite how terrible it was, because it didn't really tell us anything except
it wasn't terrible though. See, no. I don't think it's terrible. I think the idea is that I think it's cool that they share anything with us at this point. They don't have to share anything if they don't want to. They could be locked down completely. So it doesn't bother me that they share little or a lot, but it will affect how our podcasts are.
We've definitely argued the thought process of information that they give us in a separate podcast. We don't need to make another podcast about that now.
No, but one of those things that I think it's good that we'll get probably some drops and some information we'll have during Gamescom and PAX Prime, which is what they're saying they're going to attend. Yeah. So.
And what we've always said is we're not going to talk about leaked information if it's not released, officially, we won't cover it. It's just not worth it because everything changes. It's an MMO. It changes all the time. The shit that we're talking about that is officially released could be changing anyway. So anyway, to not bore you guys and, not to take up any more of your time, thanks for tuning in today. Check out alttabme.com. for the replacement podcast called Tab Talks. You can also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, and you will be informed when it's released. But as for our Wildstar podcast, we will see you when there's information next time.
As soon as possible.
Yes, as soon as possible. So see you guys next time.